The interest in these midterms is crazy. We are breaking early voting records. And now, according to our polling, we have people that are paying lots of attention to races that are outside of their state, that they have no control over, no say in, but they're paying attention anyway. Take a look at this. When it comes to the races voters say they are following most closely outside of their state, we got Pennsylvania's Senate race topping the list, followed by Georgia's and then Florida's. So, Chris, why so much attention in Pennsylvania compared to purple Georgia and red Florida? What do you make of that contrast?
Well, Pennsylvania and Georgia are both swing states, and they've gotten a lot of attention because in each state there is at least one lousy candidate that is going against the tide in the election. Fetterman in Pennsylvania and Walker in Georgia. Also, NewsNation has broadcast those debates coast to coast. People have gotten to see those, and the stakes have been very high because people are acutely aware that control of the Senate likely will hinge on those races. There's a bias toward the dramatic storyline. Nevada is just as important. Arizona potentially just as important. Ohio potentially just as important. North Carolina potentially just as important, but kind of boring. People are drawn to the story, and here you have these dramatic, compelling tales.
Now, Chris, one other thing that our poll finds is that inflation is dominating as the top issue. Voters at just 44%. Abortion is second on that list, but it's only 17% for voters. Now, when it comes to which party voters trust to do a better job handling the economy and inflation, you have Republicans leading at 43% versus Democrats at 35%. But what I find interesting is those two numbers only total up to 78%. So you got 22% that don't trust either party, Chris.
Well, the 22% of folks have been watching closely then, because we have been in a real goat rodeo here with our national political leadership for quite a while in this country, and it's fair to be skeptical and hard not to be cynical. We've got to fight against the urge to be cynical about this stuff at election time, given the high volume of negative ads and given the fact that very often the negative ads are quite accurate. The reason that Republicans are up by 8 points in the generic ballot, more than 8 points in the generic ballot in this poll, is driven by the economy. That is clear. And if that's the kind of election this is shaping up to be, a week from today, we'd be talking about a Democratic rout. For Democrats to hold the line, they're not going to hold on to the House. They know it. Everybody knows it. The question is, can they mitigate the losses? And the way that they can mitigate those losses is by making a choice argument, by talking about what Republicans stand for and what Republicans are about, because they've lost the argument when it comes to the economy.
Well, and Chris, along those lines, no president's party has gained seats in a midterm election since 2002. 2002, that would have been George W. Bush. Was it always just a fallacy that the Democrats were going to do okay, perhaps gain seats in the Senate, perhaps not give up the House? This is one of those iron laws of politics that is very rarely wrong.
So it's not just that there's only been the one time where they gained seats. There's only been 2 times since the Civil War where they didn't lose seats. Midterms tend to be referenda on the party in power, tend to be a referendum on the president's party. That's very normal. The question for Democrats has never been whether they were going to hold the House. The average number of seats lost in the House since Ronald Reagan in a president's first midterm is 28. Republicans need 5. Nobody ever really, no serious person ever really thought that the Democrats were going to hold the House. The question is, can they mitigate the losses so that Republicans really have a tiger by the tail with the Freedom Caucus and other members, and that they're not able to advance impeachment and effective counter-programming against Joe Biden. The Senate is another story. Low correlation, much lower correlation for the Senate to the party of the presidency. Every Democratic president since Lyndon Johnson has lost at least 1 Senate seat, but the correlation is lower because candidate quality matters more. That's why right now I'm looking at a Republican Senate of 51 seats, but it could almost just as easily stay at 50-50. We'll see what happens because, again, those candidates matter more.
Wow. That is Chris Stirewalt laying down the facts. Every president since Lyndon Johnson has lost at least 1 Senate seat. If
every Democratic
president. And, of course, if the Democrats lose 1 Senate seat, they lose control of the chamber.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.